Welcome to TAPS Industry Analysis TIA Spotlight. 3 questions in 9 minutes. Yes, a short amount of time, but it will absolutely be full of great stuff. My name is John Ragsdale, co-founder of TAP Innovations, and we have a special guest today, Mahesh Natamai, student at SEM Dallas School of Science and Engineering, a data scientist, programmer, and entrepreneur. Thank you for joining our show today, Mahesh. However, before we get started with the questions, please introduce yourself and a little bit about your background in less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I am a sophomore in high school currently, and thank you for having me on your show. I have a passion for new technologies, finance, programming, and upcoming software, be it through artificial intelligence or blockchain or cloud computing, etc. I really believe these technologies will help revolutionize the way that people live their lives, and I hope to take these ideas in these fields and turn them into a career and possibly a startup down the line.
Excellent. Wow, those are some amazing topics, some amazing things to be interested in at such a young age as a sophomore. So I commend you, and that's really awesome. I'm interested to hear more about your story here in the interview today. Glad to have you. We're going to jump right in. As we all know very well, we are experiencing one of the craziest world situations we've ever witnessed with COVID-19. So let's start with the challenges that you, your teachers, your teams, your classmates, your friends, or your family are experiencing. Question number 1, what are those new challenges that you are facing since COVID-19 started disrupting the world?
Yeah, so since the outbreak, the biggest challenge I've had to face is regarding education. So all Texas schools have been ordered to remain closed for the remainder of the 2019 to 2020 school year. And this places much of the burden of learning material on the students themselves rather than the teachers, since teaching becomes very difficult during these times, especially when it comes to the AP exams, which play a large role in college admissions, extracurriculars, etc. All course exams have been scheduled to be held completely online, and less course and testing material is going to be covered in these exams due to most schools not having the ability to adequately teach and finish their courses. And although video conferencing platforms like Zoom and Skype exist to help transform the in-classroom experience to one that's more web-oriented, real face-to-face human interaction and one-on-one help has become more difficult. And especially when it comes to the community and my family, just the sheer amount of anxiety and fear that has entered our family and friends is insane. And everyone is praying for this to end. Although measures have been brought in to provide financial security, most of the economy is still in a recession-like state, and lots of individuals are being laid off or having a difficult time financially. So yeah, those are the biggest challenges.
Very high unemployment, and yes, I feel your pain. I've got some teenagers that are also preparing for those AP exams, and it is challenging. It appears that they're going to be a tougher test, more challenging to take. So, hang in there, work hard, do your best. I know you'll do really well. Mahesh, with those challenges, tell us a little bit about what you're doing differently that you were not doing before.
So I think the biggest advantage that the COVID-19 outbreak has brought me is that of free time. Ever since the outbreak became a serious threat, a lot more time has been opened up in my schedule, and I've taken this as an advantage to learn more material than I could previously. Traveling to and from school and managing the heavy workload became quite the struggle prior to the outbreak, but the event has surprisingly given me the opportunity to utilize a lot more of my free time a lot more productively. And I believe that during the remainder of my high school career and maybe even college career, I will never have the same amount of free time as I have available right now, which is currently around 4 months. So I hope to take this time to really appreciate the blessing that I've been given in terms of free time and utilize it to my advantage to pick up new tasks, learn new things, etc.
It's actually a lot of fun to kind of brainstorm and take advantage of this time to say, what kinds of things could I learn? What kinds of new tasks or skills, or, take up something that you maybe never would have thought of. So very exciting. And I appreciate you sharing that. So Now, the last question, I'll call it a brainstorming question. I'll call it a think outside the box type question. If money, resources were not an issue, what kinds of things would you do?
So a couple of different things. So firstly, when it comes to the community and society, I would give back. So many individuals are, as I previously mentioned, currently in a state of shock and financial trouble, which can be solved through charities and stimulus checks using the money I would hypothetically receive. But I think more important than simply giving individuals free money is opening up jobs and giving the ability for individuals to really create an income online or at home and really counteract the negative impact of being laid off by a lot of stagnant businesses. So numerous opportunities exist for individuals to make a living at home. I mean, be it through freelancing with platforms like Upwork or Fiverr, or even starting their own business. So if time wasn't an issue, I would focus on educating the public on what opportunities exist for a work-at-home lifestyle and help individuals procure a job through these dangerous times, in addition to donating and using charity.
Great ideas,
Yeah.
and there are lots of essential industries, right? There is still a
Mhm.
demand for a lot of different things out there, and where there's demand, there's an opportunity to start
Yeah,
a business, to start a company, or to deliver, products and services to meet those
definitely.
demands. So finding, being creative, finding those areas, I agree. I think that's a really neat idea. Now,
Um,
go ahead. You want to share
yeah.
something else?
Okay. I just wanted to say, when it comes to myself, if I had more resources, I would say that I would use those resources and put them into education. So really taking the money I would have and using it to pay for, I don't know, college, getting rid of expensive debt that many college students have to deal with these days. And I mean, historically as well. I would also take the money and, put it into courses or books and really just, I would have access to infinite knowledge pretty much if this were the case. Yeah.
That's awesome. Even more great ideas. I love it. I love it. Now, hopefully this video, the message, the nuggets, the information that you're sharing will inspire you and others to find ways to implement some of those great ideas during this pandemic to help others, and even after the pandemic. Any final comments from you, Mahesh?
I would just say, don't be let down by the pandemic. I mean, obviously it's caused a lot of hardship, but there are opportunities that have come up with it. Like I mentioned, free time, or, it's a great time to start a business. So yeah, that's what I have to say.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Again, thank you, Mahesh Natamai, student at SEM Dallas, School of Science and Engineering, a data scientist, programmer, and entrepreneur, right? You heard a lot about his entrepreneurial skills and the things that he'd like to do. But thank you for joining us here on TAPS Industry Analysis TIA Spotlight. Stay safe, 6 or more feet apart, and healthy, and let's work together to battle through these challenging times.